Okay. There we go. We are back. We are back, YouTube. Hey, we're still watching the same trailer from the end of the last video. We're gonna keep going with the showcase. What is it? The Outer Worlds 2 Direct should be in no more than 30 minutes, so another part of this showcase coverage, but we'll see where it takes us. Also, YouTube, smash the subscribe button, leave a like on the video, leave a comment. Bro, I honestly, I want a new Killzone game. I think we're getting one, aren't we? Was it a remaster or main game we're getting? I feel like they announced something in last year's shows.
Games
no,
like
Guerrilla Games is done with the Killzone series.
Excels at
It's Perfect Dark that's getting a new
and
game.
Innovative experiences.
Not
and
Killzone.
Keeper is no exception.
Sag.
Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you help build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without everyone who's been with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises, I'm excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. Today, you've seen an incredible range of games from creators across the globe. Creators like In Exile, reaching for new heights with Clockwork Revolution. Sluggerfly, making Team Meat's modern classic platformer into 3D. Square Enix, bringing more of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy franchise to our players. And Team Ninja, returning to the beloved series they debuted on Xbox. You've also seen the next Xbox hardware release, our Xbox Ally handheld, which lets you bring your Xbox experience and your library with you anywhere.
Looks like we might be going straight into the Direct.
And depth of the games, updates, and experiences that are coming to Xbox from our partners and our own creative teams. We're seeing more players on our platform and in our games than ever, thanks to all of you. We're proud of the creativity that Obsidian is delivering this year. Immediately after Showcase, our Direct begins, where you'll go inside the studio for an extended look at the Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded 2. Thanks for joining us today.
Okay.
But before we get into the Direct, we have a final world premiere. Enjoy.
World premiere.
Welcome to the Guild.
Here we go, chat.
Expecting you. Please, follow me. You already know us as a global tech leader. Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled team, is designed to save lives. Your years of service have shown you the importance of our work. Here, you'll witness the global scope of that mission in action. Let me introduce you to our esteemed visionary.
For too long, we have been bound by outdated systems, accepting limitations instead of redefining them. The Guild is safeguarding tomorrow now.
Yeah, but I feel you on that. I understand why you're saying that. Same.
Worldwide. Our advancements are designed to elevate everyday life, reshaping the future of technology on a global scale.
What the f is that?
I'm Emma Kagan, CEO of the Guild.
What in the hell? What the fuck is this? Oh. Yo, this is insane. What is this?
Fear is a powerful thing. David Mason. Menendez.
I still don't recognize. What? What? What the fuck? Already? Bro, did we not just play Call of Duty Black Ops 6? Are you guys ready? Chat. Chat. The Outer Worlds 2 Direct is here. YouTube, let's get it. Black Ops 7, bro? It's like, what? Like, what are we doing?
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. We here at the studio have joked around that this has been the year of Obsidian, with Avowed releasing early this year and now ending the year with 2 more games. And what better way to cap this incredible year for us than by doing what our studio does best, sequels.
That's where I come in. You can get out of here, Fergus. Thank you so much. No, you're doing great. You nailed it. The sequel is the lifeblood of every great franchise. Think about it. The original creates the world and builds fandom, but the sequel, that's what makes it worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no raccoon tail. No sequel, no
I like
Zune
the
2.
Boston
Which doesn't really
Dynamics
exist, but I wish it had.
pack mule and
There was.
mounted turret
There was a Zune 2.
walking dog
I'm Mark,
things.
the head of
Very,
sequels here at
very
Obsidian,
future
and I have
dystopia.
sequelized everything.
Love it.
Blockbuster
Love
movies
it.
to AAA video games to my first marriage. So trust me, I know what I'm doing. Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
I don't think you know what you're doing, but okay.
Let the killing commence.
Like, I want to see how cool this is. Oh my god, is that's like a actual boss. Not like the bosses from the first game. That's kind of cool. Brother.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1. It's
Love it.
a continuation of the themes of robber barons in space and how people are controlled
Hey,
by
Noise,
the
I appreciate
stories
you,
they're
bro.
told by the people who have power over them. This time we're able to go a lot deeper because we have more time and money, which is a great thing. And we're able
Wow.
to make it a much more true Obsidian reactive RPG than we were the first time around.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, chat. Like, I still remember, right, how the first
So we're
game
going
looked,
deeper
how
and
it
more
played, and stuff like
complex
this.
with everything for the sequel.
Everything
Deeper
about
story,
this
lore,
HUD
RPG
and
interactions,
screen,
reactivity,
like, looks
all the
clean,
things we've been known for
right?
as a
Like, if that's
company.
what the game
It's
looks
really
like
a
when you're
complete
playing it,
realization of
that's
everything
clean.
people want from an Obsidian game. Surprisingly, this is the first time in over 25 years that I've had the chance to do a full sequel for a world that I helped co-create. It's really just a fantastic opportunity to explore and expand the universe in interesting ways, and to go even further with the themes of how people are affected by living in a dystopian corporate reality.
You can shoot your way through it, you can talk your way through it, you can sneak your way through it. And so no matter what kind of playstyle that you like, this is just an awesome franchise and an awesome game to jump into, even if it's your first one.
The first Outer Worlds was a great base to start from, as it has all the elements of a great Obsidian RPG. Interesting characters, deep worlds, important choices. In the Outer Worlds 2, not only did we want to double down on those elements, but we wanted to give players even more of it.
We've also put a lot of investment into skills and traits that impact things like combat, conversations, and areas that we call RPG interactions, which are the part of the world where players can use their specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve problems in unique ways in our new, bigger worlds.
I love a deep RPG experience, and building out that RPG crunchiness for our players was at the forefront of what we set out to create. We prioritize those deeper RPG options with different character builds.
Yeah, but for
combos
this
so
game's
players
first
can
game, that
express
was
their
not the
role-playing
case.
power fantasies. We also have different equipment options for different playstyles and different
Like
companions with
Avowed,
different
definitely the
abilities.
case. Avowed was definitely not a full game, but they're also not going to resell stuff to you in the future on that game because, I mean, it didn't do well. It doesn't make it doesn't make sense
In the
to put
first
more
Outer
money
Worlds,
into
you
that
start
game.
off as the Stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal experience in the game. You can make any kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent. You can think of them as kind of like space cowboys or space sky marshals. They're the good guys.
Space
that go in
cowboys or
places
space
and kind of fix
sky
everything that's wrong.
Oh,
You're
it's
gonna be
so
one of
good.
those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Earth Directorate. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to go in there and spread law throughout
So
the
appearance,
galaxy.
background,
It
traits,
could be that
skills,
you're a
name, and
roustabout and you
preview.
just
So
had nothing
very
better to
similar
do.
to the first game's
After you pick your
system,
background, one of the
but
really important choices you
definitely
have
an
next is
upgraded,
choosing your traits.
right, menus.
While we had attributes in the first Outer Worlds, we've
They have
leaned
traits
into
now.
traits for the Outer Worlds too, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick.
Yeah, I really want to see this.
So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra
During skill
skills and you start getting
selections,
extra skill
specialize in
points.
one additional skill.
And that's obviously really
Specialized
great if that's how you
skills
want to build
starts
your
with 2
character. You can
points.
also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back Dumb, so,
Interesting.
so players love the Dumb option.
Chat, you weren't.
Do you believe in science?
Dad, if you want to be dumb as bricks in this game, the game allows you to do that. You mean like the ones that say trespassing and no entry?
Quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could.
They've streamlined everything.
Spirit to
I'll be
goodness.
honest with you, there was a lot of noise
Lots
in the
of really
first
cool,
one.
Fun
I love the game
conversation options in
regardless,
but we
but
took that even further. And again,
honestly,
there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb.
if we
and
get
use
more
that for something.
content
It could
and
be
less time in the
something
menus,
as
I'm
simple
happy
as
with that.
banging on a machine to get it to
Like,
work.
I still want my RPG stuff. Like, we have to see what leveling up is like, right? Like,
After
this is
you've
just
invested in some
start
of your
menu.
traits, your next choices are
Stuff,
going to be
basically.
choosing your skills.
Yeah.
The skills themselves.
This is all
basically
start
allow
of
you to
game
build on your playstyle and what your
picking stuff.
character is doing.
Lock
in the
picking,
game.
we're definitely getting
That'll
this time.
be everything from playing stealthily to
I'm
specking
probably
for an
gonna get
explosive
speech.
specialty.
Yeah, maybe I'll do explosive specialty because that seems like it could be useful. If
Throughout
not a
your
little
entire
loud.
Journey, your character continues
So maybe
to
lock
change with the
picking.
different choices you make.
Safe
In
cracking?
the Outer Worlds 1, actually had more
Yeah, I was gonna
skills
say,
than
March,
we
you could be a
have. So we
smooth brain in
condensed
this
them
game. It's
down
so
to really
funny,
the
too.
core and essence of what we really wanted there. But we made each point that you put into a skill much more impactful. So instead of getting small percentage changes, we actually did much larger changes per point that you put into each skill. And again, all these things, because of how they're checked inside the world itself, can matter quite a bit. You know, just even having one additional skill point in something can open up a lot more options in the world itself.
Okay, thank God, because
Anybody's
it felt
played
brutal
Fallout New
last
Vegas,
time.
They'll be very familiar with like the perk system. We basically borrowed that, but went even grander. We actually have more perks than Fallout New Vegas did.
Okay.
But here's the cool thing, right? We check and use perks for literally everything, right? So you can do everything from, hey, I want to make a stealthy build to steal stuff and is really
Got
good
it.
at that.
I see how
great.
that
Well, you can
works,
take maybe the
and
pickpocketing
I
perk.
want
So
to
that's
try to
not
figure out
available
how
to
to
everybody,
exploit
but
it
if you
as
select
early as
that,
possible.
Now you can actually go around and steal things out of people's pockets. There's another perk called heavy-handed, right? Where say you're a melee person, what this does is now your power attacks that you use actually knock people down.
Interesting.
Oh man, I really like the serial killer perk.
Can we get some
As you start
Cobolics in the
killing
chat?
people, they will drop hearts. And you can take those hearts,
Oh
and
my
essentially you're
God.
taking these trophies, you could say, and it's actually giving you a permanent health
With a high
bonus
speech
every time
level?
you do it.
I don't know if that would work.
Called Assassin. Now, this
That's
is
why I
an
want to see how
early
their
game
system
perk that you
works,
can
right?
take,
Like would the
which
two
every time you stealth
would
attack
the
an enemy,
two
you're
opposing
actually
like
gonna
counterbalance
get
each
a
other?
movement bonus for a certain amount of time.
Brother. Okay, chat. I might go full stealth build and just try to stealth the entire game, and I'm
Flaws
not
were
kidding.
a system that everybody loved from the first game.
Because you couldn't
but we
really
wanted
do
to make
that.
it more
Like that we
personal
just
to the
saw, you
player.
couldn't do
We
that.
wanted it to really reflect how
I think
you
you
were playing
could.
the game.
You just have to
Give
spec
a
really high, I think,
bonus
in
if you
melee
actually
and
wanted to really
sneak
engage
or
with
whatever it was.
With the flaw system returning, we knew we needed to go bigger, better,
Yes,
and more
yes,
real
okay.
than ever before.
This
So,
is what I really want to know
return to the
about.
team.
The flaw
told 'em,
system I felt like
no
could have
bad
been way
ideas.
more
Give me
brutal
what
than
you
the
got.
first game. I want pain,
Okay, we need
suffering.
more flaws. We need them to be real. I want
Paths
to
to
put
the
them in
dark
the game.
side.
So give me something. Inspiration. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I have bad knees.
You got bad knees. They hurt when you walk a lot?
Yes.
When you walk too much, they hurt?
No cartilage.
Sounds
Oh.
boring. Makes you sound like a boring
Ooh.
person, but it's in the game.
I know it.
It's a good flaw. What about you?
I like to take small things sometimes.
Ah, klepto.
So you're stealing.
No, I'm taking.
When do you give them back?
I don't.
Claire. You shouldn't be stealing. What are you doing? You shouldn't be stealing, Claire.
Klepto.
Tiny crimes?
Tiny
You get the second
crimes.
part, though? It's a crime.
Crime.
Well,
You're stealing. Claire, that's wrong. You can't steal things, okay? But it's an amazing flaw, and I'm putting it in the game. But you're a bad person. And are you the one that took my stapler?
do you need it?
Yeah. Give it back.
Okay.
Please.
Please.
You. What do we got? Flaw.
So, nah,
like to stare
Chad,
at the
that's
sun.
that's cheesy.
How long did you stare
I
at the
like
sun?
that. That's a little funny.
Just lunch break.
An hour?
Oh, I only get 30. You guys get an hour?
I get an hour.
Maybe an hour.
Oh. Makes me feel energized.
How many fingers am I holding up?
3?
No. Anything else? We'll put it in the game. We'll put it in the game because I feel bad for you. Anything else?
One of my favorite flaws is something called bad knees. It will actually give you the option to take this flaw that'll make it so that you move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
Brother. Oh my God,
This is
those
really interesting. What it
knees.
does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal, and that sounds really great.
That's a
The
Derrick
drawback
Rose
is
knee
sometimes
ass
when you're looking at
activity,
things
bro.
in the world
What?
that are owned by somebody else, you'll automatically steal them. So you have to be very careful about how you use them.
One of
That
the more
dude made a
wacky perks
beeline.
Is the sun gazer flaw, and
Okay.
it just gives everyone cataracts while playing their game. So everything becomes like light shafts and blooms and hazes, and makes the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk.
Really?
If you happen to be the type of player that habitually reloads your weapons like I do, well, you'll be
It
offered
was
the
so
flaw of
loud,
overpreparing.
dude. It was just,
Now, you'll
it's
get
like
larger
bubble
magazine
wrap, bro.
sizes on all of your weapons, but if you ever fully empty your magazine, you're gonna take a debuff for a while. While we support options like being a gunslinger who wants to key into destructive weapons, or a rogue who wants to alpha strike their enemies before they know what hit them, we also allow for a lot of fun and experimental builds. You can be a mad scientist who utilizes gadgets and wacky science weapons. and
bro,
armors.
this is really cool.
Or even a psychopath who gains permanent bonuses to health by murdering their friends.
Nothing shows the impact of these character build options better than, in my opinion, the bridge area, which is a quest you
So
get
we can
early
do
on
the
in
Jack the
Paradise
Ripper
Island.
build, PogChamp. Yo, chat, run one Jack the Ripper
Not only
confirmed?
do you
Question
kind of
mark?
encounter this
Maybe?
very early, and it's a
Lol.
very core one to the story. But it really
That's
expresses our
crazy.
philosophy
Nah,
of
they
allowing the
cooked.
player to solve problems
I
in
think they
a
cooked.
bunch of ways.
All of this sounds super fun. I want to
So
see
you
how
may
it works
solve
in
it
practice,
by,
but it sounds
speech
fun.
options. You may talk to them and maybe have to go do a quest for them and really kind of prove that you're a friend of the Protectorate to get
Yo,
by.
also the Protectorate's like armor and gear and mechs and shit like that. Like, can I join the Protectorate? Like, I really like them and their gear.
You could go guns blazing and you could just take everyone out inside the
I
POI,
don't know
lower the
about their
bridge itself,
ideologies
kinda
and
get
whatnot, but like they got cool gear, bro. Not great training, clearly. Also, shotgun. I guess I'm gonna be a shotgun Andy again.
You could sneak in, lower the bridge, and then actually sneak in under the bridge to get over to the other side.
My man's sneaking and geeking, chat. He only killed the person he had to.
You can
Oh,
bypass the bridge entirely if you
shit.
found like certain gadgets, like the shield gadget that protects you from poison gas as you go across, or the double jump boots, which kind of allow you to jump across the chasm and get across that way. There's even a really kind of messed up way, right? Which is players can actually sacrifice one of their companions. The companion who they just found is part of.
We're no different than the Vrees if we start tossing our own to the raps. I sure as law ain't gonna follow someone who can't see the wrong in it.
I must admit, I'm surprised we could come to an understanding. But I thank you for your loyalty, stranger. As promised, you shall have clearance to
I'm looking at y'all right now, chat.
It's such a fun quest, but again, it
I
really
want to get
showcases
I want to
that
get a
we want you
camera
to
right
be
here
able to
nestled
solve this
between.
in whatever way you want to. When you build your character your
I have
way,
two
we're
cams
there
set
for
up.
you. We really want you to have the experience that you want to have out of this.
From the very beginning of our discussions about the Outer Worlds, we really knew we wanted every game to take place in a different colony. This lets us expand on all aspects of the universe. Every colony can be its own thing with its own flavor, and we can center them around anything we want.
I gotta know what his
Any
skills
ideas
and
or
his
setting we're
usefulness is
interested in?
first.
Arcadia is an isolated colony with
Like a lot of my
abundant
playthroughs are
resources,
just
and it's run by an
unhinged at all
authoritarian
cost
faction called the
playthroughs.
Protectorate. Their dictatorship
Especially
is
first
schematically
blind
based around
runs.
the question of how much
So
freedom
like,
people will give up
depending
for
on how
security and
useful
luxury.
characters, I won't mind getting rid of them. Though
Protectorate
Parv was
subjects,
not the
unfortunately,
most
that answers
useful, and we
everything.
kept her around a lot. Well, she was
The
adorable, so
Protectorate is also incredibly
I guess that
wealthy
makes
because it was
sense.
founded by the inventor of the skip drives, which are the outer world.
True, she was an engineer. Forgot about
But
that.
those skip drives are starting to cause rifts in space-time.
No,
which are
only if I
cutting
do a
off all the other
psychopath run am I
colonies on Earth from being able to trade
throwing
with each
everyone,
other.
because that's permanent health.
The Order of the Ascendant
Permanent
is
health
an offshoot
boosts.
of the Order of Scientific Inquiry from the original game. And
Okay.
like them are a science-based religion with the same goal of solving the universal equation, which will allow them to predict and alter the future to the benefit of all mankind.
Oh, they're still
They used to be part of the
working on that,
Protectorate, but
huh?
They split off to focus on solving the equation for the good of everyone, not as a way
Interesting.
to simply control the masses.
Interesting.
The player's been sent to Arcadia as an Earth Directorate agent to find out how the skip drives are causing the rifts and what can be done to stop them. Each of the factions have their own solutions to the rift problem and their own goals. The Protectorate wants to close them to protect their legacy as the inventor of the drives and their wealth. The Order wants to close them not only for the good of everyone,
Okay.
but also because they're complicating the math they're using to solve the universal equation. Inantes just wants to be able to open
So
and
it's an
close
so
them
they're
at will to
solving it
control
because it's
all
an
the trade routes between the
inconvenience. Got
colonies.
it.
In addition to expanding the themes and lore of the Outer Worlds, we're also expanding the humor, so each faction has its own
So
flavor
good.
of absurdity.
It's so good.
Annie's Choice is a merger between Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice from the original game.
What?
And there are corporate representatives in the Outer Worlds too. They've
Wait.
invaded Arcadia to liberate their resources for all of humanity. At a profit,
Spacer's Choice
of
and
course.
Anti-Cleo had to combine. Oh, bro, we're about to get lore dump when this game comes out.
It was just iconic for me, and I wanted to make sure that the Outer Worlds 2 had that. So we actually built out 3 different radio stations, one for each of the major factions.
Okay.
You also have a ton of music. Each station might have like, I think 20 tracks of unique music that we've made for it. It's a lot of stuff. But the really cool part about this entire thing is that we actually put a lot of reactivity into the radio. So it will
Okay.
respond to the things that are going on around the world that you've been interacting with. So if you go into a location, let's say you solve a problem for the Protectorate folks.
Like Dietrich
if you
Armor
listen to
and
the
Morrowind,
Protectorate
yes.
radio station,
Exactly.
they're gonna be cheering you on as a hero.
Wonderful news, everyone. The Zeranium gas leaks at the Automech repair facility, strongly believed to be
Interesting.
caused by Anti's Choice malefactors, have been corrected.
Some hotshot for hire just managed to fix the electrum leak in their repair facility. Now, I'm not saying we caused it in the first place, but we sure like the idea of all those broken automechanicals and all the excessive gasping and choking involved.
The factions
Wow.
and companions are great examples of how we're going deeper and more complex
Wow.
this time around. They're integrated into the
Violence
game's
was
storyline
chosen,
much more
huh,
than we did
chat?
on the first Outer Worlds, and like with everything else in the game, they have a lot more reactivity. There are 6 companions in the Outer Worlds too. As usual, each has their own quest lines, but this time they are also connected to a different faction and have character arcs that the player can affect through their choices. Your first companion is Niles. He's another Earth Directorate agent like you, and he's looking for your help to decide whether he wants to become an even better agent or to turn his back on the Earth Directorate.
Nah, you're
completely.
becoming a better
There's
agent.
also a
We're gonna have
somewhat
2
cute
Giga
Automech
agents.
support drone that is basically Niles' helper. Her name is Val.
She heal?
Marisol is part of the Order of the Ascendant, and she's an aging but still deadly assassin. That's right, she's a deadly mathematician who may or may not have some unfinished business to attend to with the player's help.
Okay.
There's also a cultist named Azza who is part of a sub-faction that worships the rifts, and in her case, violence in general. You can choose to either turn her away from overt violence or support her chaotic and dangerous tendencies.
Interesting.
At one time, Auntie's Choice had a program to graft soldiers with animal parts to make them more formidable. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work, and most of them are now dead. There's a combat medic who survived, however, named Inez.
What the hell is that?
She wants the player to help her fix her graft, among other things.
What the hell is that?
Finally, there's Tristan. He's a protected arbiter.
He's a Giga Chad,
all rolled into one heavily armored package. It is your choice to either help him judge wrongdoers or show him what true justice looks like.
Nah, judgment. You have been terminated.
I won't reveal the end of the game, but let's say if you've not been treated
Bro, we get a
well,
Giga Chad companion. I'm so happy.
Companions are a very, very important part.
Yeah, it's not like a follow-up to the previous story.
That's the real beauty of the
It's a
sequel.
game. It's a sequel to the game universe.
It is the lifeblood. It is what fuels us. Do you want to see some of my ideas? Hop. Check this out.
I'll put it to you this way, right? We don't know if that old doctor is involved. Like, we don't know any connections to the previous game.
Right?
So if they're saying it's a sequel,
other, when you could have a knife-wielding space psycho up in your sheets, huh? What do they do with them when they get them, huh? Maybe a little napping, maybe a little snuggling, maybe a little nah.
The visuals of
what the
first
fuck
Outer
was
Worlds depicted a frontier colony in space. The Outer Worlds 2 is driven by an invasion
Chat,
of the
I'm sorry, I gotta
colony
clip
system
that.
by Auntie's Choice, which shifts the visuals
Nah, chat, give me a second. I'm working on something right now. Give me a second. I gotta make a clip out of this. Yeah, bro, nah, I gotta make a clip from this. Absolutely not. We're not letting that one go.
Including extreme capitalist or math-crazed scientist. In a World War I
Give me a second,
setting,
chat. I'll give you the
war
one to
comes with
actually
propaganda.
post. Hold on.
The Sovereign uses it to maintain control. Auntie's Choice uses it to help their bottom line. The Order just wants to show how it exists within the grand plan. We want players to feel like Arcadia is a living, breathing place scarred by a long-standing war. Fairfield, one of the first towns you encounter, was once under Protectorate control, but has recently been taken over by Auntie's Choice. They don't just occupy the town, they rebrand it with their signature style, repainting buildings, posting guards, and adding propaganda-based holograms featuring Auntie and the Moon Man. Showing the towns evolving after the invasion helps us push immersion for our players. One of our priorities in visually realizing the world of the Outer Worlds 2 was making sure everything is clear and recognizable from the player standpoint. We want to make sure each faction has a particular look and design. So when the player is running across these vast, different environments and landscapes, they're recognizing the motifs and visuals of who they're talking to, what they're going to be talking about, and how that progresses throughout the story. The first Outer Worlds was really about player interfacing with corporations. And while we have that in the Outer Worlds 2, we really want to express not just the corporations, but how the player interacts with other facets of the world, like government entities or religious structures. And then we elaborate on those.
With larger environments, we wanted to encourage exploration by improving player mobility across the board. Now you can run, slide, double jump, mantle and parkour your way through all of the nooks and crannies of these worlds. It really allows the player to just explore and have fun finding really cool stuff.
We've aimed to make everything in the Outer Worlds 2 better from top to bottom. The RPG elements were the start, but that's touched our story, our art, and especially our gameplay. A good sequel is true to the original.
Pillars of Eternity universe,
right? Like we all
I
want
want
to add
another
in
Pillars
a bunch
game.
of things as you're making.
Could
a
use
sequel,
one of
right?
those
you want
for
to make
sure.
it bigger and better in every way. That's what we were trying to do.
Yeah, I had to make it funny.
We did
Chat,
not
share
need
that on your
this
socials.
consultant. We made enough sequels. We understand how to do
I'm actually
this,
pitting that
and I will
because
say, I don't think it's been entirely successful.
yeah, we're not letting this one go.
I'm very proud of the combat improvements we have
I'm going to
made
Twitter, chat.
in the
I'll be
Outer
right
Worlds
back.
2, thanks to my patented combat
What the
system. You may be thinking to yourself, it can't be that good. Shush, what are you even talking about? You haven't seen it yet. Watch this. Put a helmet on, because I'm about to blow all of your minds with my COMBAT system, combat system. My name is Mark. I'm the head of sequels. Shall we begin? You're thinking, what's C for? C. Capitalize the fact that the people loved the first game. We're going to take those people. We're going to make them buy the sequel, giving out pounds. Quick one. Ha, not you, Dad. Here we go. What comes after C?
You.
O. Optimize for player satisfaction. I am terrified.
Yeah, chat.
of
You know where
online
you
gamers.
know
Okay,
where I was going with that.
I want to make them happy. So let's. Okay. All right. Mobilize the
No,
players so
where did
they're
that
ready
just
for that
go? View my
sweet,
post.
Sweet
Chat.
pre-order. Clap at me. Sweet.
Like, retweet,
sweet.
comment
Rhythm, Brandon, just say it.
on the post too.
Sweet.
Let's get the word out, because that body pillow thing was weird as hell.
B, burglarize. What is this? It's basically just finding new
That's
ways to loot that body.
crazy.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Right, Otis? Okay, well, it's a big part of the game. A,
That's
you gotta
insane.
agonize about how many people are gonna be angry that we have just put so much combat into this thing and almost no romance at all. We should look at ourselves. What is wrong with us? Huh? We can't have one love story in this? How many people have been in love? Raise your hands. Raise your hand if you're in love. Okay, are you lying?
I have a wife.
Put your hand down. T, trois. In French, that means two, sequel.
I think that means 3.
Okay, you're getting ahead of yourself. Come on, Claire. We're on 2. And how do we end it?
Also,
Anything is
chat,
possible.
Gears of War E-Day is
We've established that we're
2026.
the best there is, and there's no sequel better than us.
Pain and suffering.
And if I could just say one more thing, thank you very much. I know I've kind of changed the world of video games today.
For The Outer Worlds 2, we wanted to improve gunplay in every way.
Chat.
We focused on improving the feel
Xbox
of each
is
weapon,
25
the way
years
a
next
weapon
year.
snaps into ADS, the way recoil feels
Yeah.
when firing.
25 years of Xbox is next year. We're getting a new Fable. The next Forza game. Gears of War Emergence Day.
Each weapon. We've increased the variety of weapons
And
by including new weapon
a
types.
remaster of Halo Combat Evolved, apparently.
We have things
Or
like
at
the
least an
Force
announcement
Blaster
of it.
that fires out tumors that can explode
No,
like
it's
grenades.
supposed to release.
Or can even be eaten
Actual
by the player
copium.
for additional health.
Chat, but next year is going to be the best
We
year
have a
that
weapon
Xbox has
called
ever
Rookie's
had.
Reward that will actually
I know
level
that's
up
probably
the more
copium. I don't
you use it
care.
throughout the game.
I'm still wondering where State of Decay 3 is, though. And Perfect Dark.
Where it's like shooting out confetti and it's got a fun little setup. We have a really fun weapon called the pop-up gun. It fires out ad drones that will distract your enemies with corporate ads, slogans, and jingles. While your enemies are distracted, you can focus fire on them or explode these drones for additional damage. New to the Outer Worlds 2 are throwables. So you can use frag grenades to flush out enemies, smoke grenades to camouflage and escape,
Smoke them out, chat.
distraction devices to bait enemies into a stealth attack, and even science grenades that will levitate enemies, allowing you to fire upon them while they float helplessly. And of course, science weapons are back. We have returning favorites, like the Shrink Ray. This time it's been upgraded, so you can shrink your enemy down to the size of a sprat and run over them, exploding them into bits.
The Shrink Ray, that was probably my favorite one from the first game, so we brought it into the second game, but we improved it though. So instead of shrinking your enemies for a short period of time and having them re-expand, this time they stay shrunk, and we actually added in the ability to step on them and kind of squish them and kick them, because we knew that that was the player fantasy. We knew that's what everybody wanted to do. They wanted to step on the enemies, they wanted to kick them, so we made sure to double down on that stuff.
In addition to things like our returning favorites, we also have some really fun and unique new science weapons. One of them is called the Armageddon. This one's really cool because it actually shoots out these masses that are like these little arms that will stick to people or cover or all kinds of different things, and they will continue to just hit them until they get destroyed. And we have another one that's just super cool called the Spectrum Dance Saber. This is a melee weapon that actually lets you attack to a musical
Give me a second.
beat. And
Give me a
if you
second, bro.
continue
Hold
to
on.
do that, you'll actually get additional bonuses each hit you do. One of my personal favorite weapons is called the Big Bang. It's just a big freaking gun that uses material harvested from rifts to shoot out a giant ball of energy, vaporizing everything in its path. Now, ammo's extremely rare for this weapon, but you can use it in just the right situation to devastating effects.
Like another great one is Gary. If you wear Gary, he will lash out at your opponents as you're walking through combat. So we even have science armors, and we've really kind of shown off what we thought was really great for the player from a science perspective.
We're all about letting people play the game their way. There are some players who prefer to be immersed in a first-person view, taking in all of the details. But there are others who really prefer to take the world in from a third-person perspective. Why not allow both? Well, now you can swap between the two, letting you enjoy the experience in whatever way you like.
Yeah, chat, hold on.
One of the things I really like about having the third-person mode is being able to see all of the fun and unique armors and armor combinations and weapons that you can equip your player with. all of the actions that you could do in first person, so you're double jumping around, you get to see your character in that way, and you get to take in the world and see things in a different light.
The Outer Worlds 2 is really the biggest game we've ever made. Bigger choices, more reactivity, more weapons, more things to find in each of the worlds the players can visit. The team has done incredible work bringing the Outer Worlds 2 to life, and we can't wait for you to play it.
Even though we've always been a multi-project studio, this is
Chat.
going to be the first time we've
I'll
ever
link y'all
released 3
the
games in
short
1
on
year.
YouTube.
It feels amazing.
Make sure you go to
We're
YouTube,
so
share it,
excited
all
for
that
more
fun
people
stuff.
to be playing our games. It is truly an exciting time here at
Brother.
Obsidian. We're exploring worlds big and small while expanding on franchises that we've created, and we have no plans to
There it
slow
goes.
down. We hope you all continue to come along with us as we do what we do best, make
It's
your
the Outer
worlds
Worlds
your way.
version of BFG 9000. Not sure. Mutated Days. Something like that. Something like that. We're actually like, dude, we're over time for this. That's crazy. I wonder if this will cover all of the Outer Worlds too, though. Do 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 do. Yep.
With the Outer Worlds 2, we're all about the best place to play, which is also the promise of Xbox. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it may be hard to play it when you're staring at all these beautiful holes. Let's cut that. You can play the Outer
What?
Worlds 2 on this Xbox. Oh yeah, now that's Microsoft. Or you can take a phone call on
I'm
this
not making
Xbox,
another one.
Then play the Outer Worlds 2
This
right
guy's
after.
cooked.
Excuse me, I'm getting a call. Hello? What am I doing? I'm playing the Outer Worlds. Hello? Yeah, this is Mark.
Marky
I didn't know I
Mark.
had jury duty today. You could play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it takes 2
All right, here's
people
what
to
we're gonna do.
walk around
Twitch, stick
safely.
around. YouTube,
We're gonna go up to my apartment, okay?
I can't.
And this is an
YouTube, I really
Xbox you
can't.
actually wear that also plays the Outer Worlds 2. What do you think, Claire?
This is amazing.
Are you playing?
I think so.
Fantastic. So now this is actually not an Xbox, so you cannot play the Outer Worlds 2 on it. Can't play anything on this. I guess Bread. You ever play Bread where you take